Most people have heard of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, but few have heard of his Secretary of State, who implemented most of Eisenhower's policies and made Eisenhower successful. This man was none other than John Foster Dulles. Born in 1888, he attended Princeton University, becoming a lawyer and joining the Sullivan and Crowell law firm. After World War I began, he attempted to join the U.S. Army, but was rejected due to poor eyesight. However, he did receive a commission to the grade of Major when he was appointed to the War Industries Board. Dulles first came into the political spotlight with his uncle Robert Lansing, who was also Secretary of State under Woodrow Wilson. He served as a junior diplomat, becoming a primary supporter of U.S. membership in the League of Nations. In the 1940s, Dulles became a prominent Republican, acting as a foreign policy advisor to presidential candidate Thomas E. Dewey. In 1944, Dulles advocated for the creation of a Jewish Commonwealth in Palestine. Dulles strongly opposed the use of nuclear weapons by the U.S. against Japan, saying, "Atomic weapons will be looked upon as a normal part of the arsenal of war, and the stage will be set for the sudden and final destruction of mankind." In 1950, Dulles published War or Peace, a book that criticized Harry Truman's policy of containment, instead arguing for a liberation policy. When Eisenhower became president in 1953, he appointed Dulles as his Secretary of State. As Secretary of State, Dulles helped build many alliances still known today, most famously the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO. He created treaties with dozens of countries, such as Japan, France, Australia, New Zealand, Britain, Pakistan, the Philippines, and Thailand. He strongly opposed communism, calling it godless terrorism. He was also named Time's Man of the Year for 1954. Dulles helped Eisenhower grow the Central Intelligence Agency, then headed by his brother, Allen Dulles. In 1953, he supported Eisenhower's decision to direct the CIA to instigate a coup in Iran, to overthrow the Prime Minister and support the Shah of Iran. Dulles was also a supporter of massive retaliation, which was the idea that if the Soviet Union preemptively started a nuclear war, the U.S. and its allies would respond with an overwhelming nuclear strike to wipe out the Soviet Union. Dulles died in 1959 of colon cancer at the age of 71. Several streets are named after him, as well as the Washington Dulles International Airport. Although he was not as famous as Eisenhower, John Foster Dulles was the proverbial man behind the curtain, implementing Eisenhower's policies into the real world. Eisenhower's administration, as well as the world today, would be very different than they are now had it not been for John Foster Dulles, because he created treaties and alliances that still have great significance in our world today. Therefore, he deserves a spot in the AP U.S. History Hall of Fame.